I didn't realize how fast fear could shut your body down until that day. I knew I was in trouble the moment the woods went quiet. Not peaceful quiet, the kind that presses against your skin and makes every breath sound too loud. That's when I remembered what the locals told me before I came up here. Don't whistle after dark. Don't answer your name if you hear it from the trees. And if the forest ever goes silent, just leave. I laughed when I first heard it. People in these mountains have stories for everything. Things that live between the ridges. Voices that don't belong to anyone. But standing there, buried in snow, daylight fading faster than it should have, those rules didn't sound like stories anymore. I was up there for work, environmental surveying, soil mapping, simple data collection for a company that barely remembered my name. 3 days of hiking ridgelines, marking coordinates, and getting out before the next storm hit. The job always sounded better on paper than it felt in person. Out here, the silence isn't peace, it's weight. The first day went fine. By noon on the second, the clouds were sitting low, and snow had started coming down in heavy flakes, the kind that moves sideways with the wind. I marked my last site and decided to head back toward camp early. The forest was already turning gray. That strange winter light that makes distance impossible to judge. It wasn't until I reached the creek crossing that I noticed my own tracks from earlier were gone, completely wiped clean. The snow wasn't deep enough to hide them, not yet, but the path looked untouched, like I'd never walked there at all. My stomach dropped hard. I checked my GPS, trying to keep calm. The signal flickered, steady 1 second, blank the next. I told myself it was drift, nothing more. But every instinct in my body knew better. I kept moving. The deeper I went, the quieter it got. The wind stopped. The trees stopped creaking. The only thing left was my own heartbeat, too fast, too loud, and the slow crunch of my boots. Then I saw the footprints. They came out of the trees on my right, cut straight across the trail, and vanished into the ravine. Wide steps, dragging slightly at the heel, like whoever made them was carrying weight or limping. I called out, just once. The sound died too fast, swallowed up before it reached anything. When I tried the radio, it hissed and went dead. There's a kind of fear that doesn't hit all at once. It builds slow in layers. First comes denial, then the shaking in your hands, then the point where your body realizes you're not safe, even if your brain won't admit it. By the time I turned back, it was already too late. The snow thickened fast. I could barely see 10 feet ahead. My compass needle was jumping like something magnetic was close. I kept walking until I saw smoke, a thin gray column rising through the trees. Relief came first, then suspicion. The smoke wasn't moving right. It went straight up, even though the wind had picked up again. I followed it anyway. Through the trees was a clearing with an old shack, wood half rotted, roof sagging under snow, no path leading in or out. I called out, nothing. The smoke came from a metal pipe stuck through the roof, steady and thin. I circled around the side. The snow near the door was churned up, not footprints exactly, more like someone had been pacing. I hesitated, knocked once, then pushed the door open. Inside was dim, lit only by a weak glow from a small iron stove. The air smelled metallic, like rust and wet ash. There were shelves lined with cans, no labels, and a single sleeping bag spread open on the floor. Next to it, 2 pairs of boots. That's when everything in me locked up. Because outside, I'd only seen 1 set of tracks. I stood there, not breathing, trying to listen. The sound of the fire popped once, too loud in the silence, and something near the far wall shifted, soft and dry, like fabric brushing wood. I backed out slowly, step by step. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely keep hold of the door handle. When the floor creaked, I ran. No plan, no direction, just out. The cold slammed into me like water. I couldn't tell where the trail was anymore. Everything was white. The air stung every time I inhaled. I tried to follow the slope downhill, but it all looked the same. Trees, fading in and out of the storm. I walked until my legs gave out. Fell once, hard enough that I saw black for a second. My heart was pounding so loud it drowned out everything else. That's when I noticed it again. The silence. Just the faint sound of something moving through the drifts behind me. Slow, dragging. I didn't look. I couldn't. Every part of me screamed to stay still, but my body moved on its own. I got up and kept walking until I saw a flicker of orange through the snow. Light. It was a ranger truck. They found me half conscious, skin starting to freeze. They said I'd wandered almost 3 miles off the route. When they asked where I have been, I told them about the shack. One of them looked at the other, then said quietly, "There aren't any buildings out there." I argued until my throat hurt. I knew what I'd seen. But when the weather cleared a week later, they took me back to the same ridge, and there was nothing. No clearing, no chimney, no sign anyone had been there. I quit fieldwork after that. Moved back to town, started an office job, pretended I didn't miss the woods. But every winter, when the first storm rolls through the hills, I still catch myself listening for the silence. People here say the mountains have rules for a reason. I think about that a lot, because whatever lives out there, whatever keeps those woods so quiet, it doesn't chase you. It just waits for you to forget the rules. Thanks for watching No Sleep Tonight, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It truly helps this channel grow and keep these horrors coming. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, sleep well.